Lila stepped off the bus, her artist's portfolio clutched against her chest as a shield against the cool, salty breeze that swept through the village of Azura. The village was a canvas painted with the verdant green of the mountains and the deep blues of the encroaching sea, a place that whispered of ancient lore and modern love intertwined like the vines in the vineyards on the outskirts. It had been 7 years since Lila had last walked these cobblestone streets, 7 years of art school in the city, exhibitions and galleries filled with strangers, and nights spent under the vast, impersonal glow of city lights. Yet, as she wandered past the familiar market square, now bustling with preparations for the annual kite festival, a pang of nostalgia tightened around her heart. The scent of fried sweet dough from Mrs. Alera's bakery booth filled the air, a scent that evoked memories of laughter and simpler times. At the center of the square, a man stood on a ladder, his hands expertly weaving colorful tails onto a large kite that fluttered even in the gentlest wind. This was Rowan, though Lila did not know him yet. His reputation as a master kite maker was known far beyond Azura, his kites not just objects of art but symbols of the village's spirit. Their eyes met briefly as Lila paused to admire his work. Rowan's smile was quick and warm, a silent invitation to share in the joy of creation. She nodded in appreciation and moved on, her heart lighter yet heavy with a longing she couldn't quite understand. The festival was less than a week away, and Lila found herself drawn back to the square each day, her sketches slowly morphing from landscapes to the vibrant, dynamic forms of kites in flight. Rowan noticed her frequent presence, her eyes capturing more than just the physical. One afternoon, he approached her, a small, intricately designed kite in hand. "I noticed you've been sketching my kites," he said, offering it to her. "I thought maybe you'd like to try flying one instead." Lila accepted, her fingers brushing against his, a jolt of unexpected connection sparking between them. They walked to the open field beyond the market, where the kites could dance with the wind unencumbered. With a few expert instructions, Rowan helped Lila launch the kite, and together they watched it soar, its colors a blur against the clear sky. As the kite climbed, so did their conversation, delving into their pasts. Rowan spoke of his travels through distant lands, each country contributing to his kite designs, each design telling a story of encounters and farewells. Lila shared her journey through the art world, her successes, and the isolation of city life that no accolade could fill. Their collaboration began naturally, as if the wind itself had whispered for them to join forces. A mural that would serve as the backdrop for the festival's main stage, combining Lila's evocative landscapes with Rowan's dynamic kites. It was a project that promised to unite their solitary paths. But as the festival drew near, the skies above Azura darkened, mirroring the storm that gathered in Lila's heart. The shadows of old lovers and the scars of choices made began to seep into her and Rowan's conversations. Doubts clouded their collaboration, the mural's vibrant colors overshadowed by the grays of their fears. The storm broke the morning of the festival. Rain lashed the mural, the paints running, the images blurring into unrecognizable stains of sadness. The villagers' spirits sank, the field littered with the wreckage of kites and dreams. "I should leave," Lila murmured to Rowan as they surveyed the damage. "I only seem to bring the storm." Rowan, however, saw beyond the storm. He picked up a shard of their ruined mural, the colors still bright against the gray mud. "Help me," he urged her, his voice firm with resolve. "Help me rebuild. Not just the kites, but this place, your home." Transforming ruin into renewal, Rowan guided the villagers in piecing together their kites, now patched with fragments of the mural. As the sky cleared and the wind returned, the field once again filled with kites, their tails streaming with stories of resilience and hope. As Lila watched their creation lift into the sky, something within her settled. Azura, with its imperfections and its beauty, was home. She turned to Rowan, seeing him not just as a partner in art, but as a companion for her heart. "I'm staying," she whispered, her voice mingled with the sound of fluttering canvas above them. Rowan's face lit up with a smile that mirrored the brilliance of the kites overhead. "You've brought the colors back to Azura," he said, his hand reaching for hers. Their fingers intertwined, as naturally as their lives seemed destined to do. The festival ended under a banner of stars, the kites like comets against the night sky. The villagers danced and sang, their voices carrying across the field, weaving through the couple standing quietly to the side. Lila and Rowan watched, their hearts full, as their community celebrated not just the return of the festival, but the renewal of hope. In the days that followed, Lila found herself integrating into the rhythms of village life once more. With Rowan by her side, she rediscovered the joy of belonging. Together, they transformed the kite shop into a studio where art and kites blended seamlessly, drawing tourists and locals alike. As spring gave way to summer, the mural they had recreated became a symbol of the village's resilience. Tourists would often stop before it, captivated by the story it told. A story of destruction and creation, despair and hope, woven into the fabric of Azura's daily life. One evening, as they closed the shop, Rowan turned to Lila, a serious look in his eyes. "You've changed Azura, you know, but more than that, you've changed me. I thought I was just making kites, but you've shown me that I was also crafting my own anchors, holding myself back from truly soaring." Lila smiled, touched by his words. "And you've taught me that sometimes, the place you're meant to be isn't the one you leave behind, but the one where you land. And sometimes, it takes storms to clear the path." They decided to host a new event at the festival the next year, a kite-making workshop followed by a collective launch. It was their way of passing on the lessons they had learned about art, about love, and about community. Years later, the Kite Festival in Azura had grown to include participants from all over the world, each eager to add their stories to the tapestry that Lila and Rowan had begun. The couple, now married, watched from the sidelines, their hands still joined, their hearts still soaring with every kite that lifted into the air. Their love, like the kites, had faced many storms, but it had also experienced incredible highs, reaching towards the sun with the joy and exuberance of shared dreams and a shared life. Azura remained, as ever, a place where the winds carried tales of love and loss, of finding and forging, a place where every spring brought with it the promise of new colors, new life, and new stories. And at the center of it all, Lila and Rowan continued to live and love, their lives a testament to the enduring power of art, the strength of community, and the boundless capacity of the human heart to find its home, wherever the wind might lead.